No, I have to zoom in a little bit. So I'm Christopher. I am half of CMonsterYK. Today we are coloring, or illustrating rather, the kids book that my wife and I wrote a few years ago and then lost. I illustrated it, but we had the illustrations, but not the writing. And I thought the illustrations were horrible. It was a long time ago. I've gotten better at illustrating. Oh, okay. Did it just start? Okay. Hi. I'll do this again. I'm Christopher. I'm Okay. So today we're illustrating a kid's book my wife and I wrote years ago and then lost. I had done illustrations before, but I was a much worse illustrator back in the day. So I'm much more practiced as an illustrator now, and we're going to illustrate it. Yesterday, or we did some coloring on a sea scene, which I don't have with me, but this is kind of it. Some of these elements. And the day before, we did Blub Blub, which is the main character, this this octopus. And so today we're going to illustrate the third page, which might be linked with the second. And it's going to be octopuses hiding in the sand. It's still Blub Blub's family who are good at camouflaging. And it's going to say some of the pages. So it says his dad was sand colored, his mom was coral, his aunts and uncles were in the seaweed, even his brothers and sisters were hiding in the rocks. Okay, the chat looks weird. Okay, I'm not seeing the chat, so I have to restart. Gosh, YouTube, you're killing me today. YouTube literally started a stream when it wasn't supposed to, just randomly. It wouldn't load a stream for, like, it didn't seem like there was any reason, so I deleted it. And as soon as I deleted it, it popped up where I could have loaded it. Okay. It's echoey. It's kind of just echoey in here. Is that a little bit better? I think I could lower the whole thing a little bit. Like, no, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, so we're illustrating that. So we're going to do some not elephants. I keep saying elephants for octopus. We're going to do some octopus. We'll have one hiding in some coral. We'll have some hiding in the seaweed, and we'll probably do ones hiding in. We can do ones hiding in here, and we'll just like render these out a little bit better than what they are here, and that way we can scan them in and get them going. Okay. So yeah. Okay. YouTube keeps hiding the chat on me. The only thing I care about is the chat, guys. That's why I'm here. And like Sorry, I usually don't have this much trouble. Okay. Let me figure this out. 1 second. I'm so sorry. I really want to start drawing these octopuses. Octopi or octopus? Can you vote? Is there a way to make you guys vote? No, but genuinely, do you think it's octopi or octopus? Okay, is it not streaming? It is telling me that the stream does not exist. Okay, no, you see the stream? Okay, I don't know what the heck. All right, well, this is the octopus. I'm just going to start drawing. My YouTube is going crazy today. Let me adjust this. If I adjust this light, does that give it less reflection? Okay. So yeah, we'll draw his dad, who is hiding in the sand. So I think this one's going to be the hardest one, because we're basically going to have him drawn just sort of lying in the sand. So maybe we can have like the sand kind of mounded up around him a little bit. And so this is for a kid's book. So it doesn't have to be too hidden. It just has to be like, can you see that? It just has to be like the suggestion of hiddenness. So if we have the sand kind of bundled up around him, we have some of his octopus tentacles coming out the back here. Maybe we could even have him being like one of his tentacles could come out from the sand. And he could be saying, shh. It doesn't really work. Oh, okay, the echo problem, that's good. Can you tell me, on my screen, I'm having trouble seeing uh, the drawing, but that happens to me sometimes, and it's just also on my end. Yeah, so we'll have this cute little octopus hiding in the sand, and maybe he'll be saying shh like this because, oh yeah, there, that looks pretty cute. And because it's his dad, I wonder, let's give him a little mustache. Am I mustache happy? We'll give him like a dad mustache. All right, yeah, so this is a kid's book that my wife and I wrote and illustrated years ago, but I was brand new to illustrating and I wasn't that good, if I do say so myself, and then we lost it. So I always wanted to re-illustrate it, but I could not find it. And then we were moving. That's another story. I really have to do a live or where I just talk about that, because that's some drama that I think is pretty interesting. Maybe I'll do one and I'll draw the drama. That could be fun. And oh, instead of a mustache, we could also do like dad glasses. Well, these are options. We don't have to commit to them right now. The mustache is pretty good. Let's stick with that. And we could always do like little balding hair. Yeah, I'll stick that in. I think that's really nice. And he's saying shh. And that'll be a little sand. This will be some sand. I don't know what these tentacles are doing out there, but it's just so you can kind of see him better, I think. I think it'll look good. And then he'll also be like sand colored a little bit as a way to... All right. So yeah, I'm going to just draw these guys individually. And if I need to put them all together, like if I decide when we're doing the layout and stuff for the book, if they need to be all put together, we can do that then. Or we can do like where you have different little vignettes, little tableau on different pages, on one page, I mean. So we could do something like that. I just want to get the ideas down. This is more of like it's not quite a brainstorming session, because if it's good, I will use these drawings, but it's like a first draft, I guess, an ideas session. Give them some suckers. The suckers looked so good on Blub Blub when we did the color. Let me take a sip of water. Oh, okay, I see Oddfoot said the drawing looks great. That's great. I really couldn't see it. All right, yeah, so that's the dad. I can't remember. It said the mom was hiding in the coral. So we'll have the mom hiding in some coral. Hey, Nasir, welcome, welcome. We're doing a desktop sketch top today. And we're drawing some of the fam. So this is Pops, this is the dad. We made him a little balding. I guess all octopuses are balding, and we gave him a mustache. I don't know how much we'll keep that, but it looks pretty cute, so we probably will keep it. Just darken that up. Yeah, so one thing that really changed my look on illustrating is I really thought to be a good illustrator, you had to have like a certain sense of seriousness. And like, I don't know why. So, for instance, the first time I illustrated this book, no way in heck would I have put him saying shh and being playful. I would have been like, no, I want it to be like serious and classic and classy. But like, guess what? A dad saying shh when he's trying to hide is all those things. So don't be a for me. I shouldn't be so I don't know, like judgy. Okay, I just needed a piece of paper so I don't smudge the page. All right, for the mom for the coral, there's all many different kinds of coral we could do, but I was thinking I already had one like sneaking out from behind this kind of coral. So I think I'll do a quick sketch of that coral like this. Just sort of bring it. We don't need to do the detail on it because we already did that one on another page, but this kind of gives us an idea. And then we can have her coming out from the back. Kind of like, oh, even in between. Kind of like peeking up and around the corner. Some of her tentacles can be over here, doing the same kind of. Okay. Oh, I probably want to get the mouth on her too, so I'm just going to move her whole head out a little bit. I've definitely made these octopus more, you know, rounded and more friendly and cartoony than they would be in real life. But I wasn't sure how I was going to do that or if I was going to but I think this is a good level of cartooniness. So lips are a classic way to make cartoons look like women. We could also do the maybe even more classic eyelashes. And then sometimes I feel like eyebrows can also be. All right, that's actually not. She looks, she does not look happy. There we go. Okay, we'll have Blub Blub's mom. So yeah, this would be behind. I usually are live. Oh, I might be able to make a poll. You usually are live when it's nighttime. Yeah, I keep trying to stream. Yeah, so this is kind of where I got the idea. The mom will be like behind this. I mean, I think we see that here. I guess let's let's render this out a little bit. I kind of sketched it in sloppy, but let's just bring it to life. Yeah, I try to schedule earlier, but I just never can. Oh no, Sapley is here. Oh, I didn't know you were from Australia. Hello. No, I'm just playing. People who do the Australia, like, people sound like different people. I don't see an option to send a poll, but like, I would not be surprised if there was an option and it's not showing up today. Today is the weirdest um, YouTube experience I've had probably in the entire time I've done YouTube. It's what a weird day. I almost didn't make it. All right. Yeah, we'll do. Okay. There we go. Yeah, we'll just render this out a little bit. Kind of get it looking more like what it is. And we might even use it. We can just, if we like it, and we'll illustrate it. I really liked the other one we did. The color scheme was really good on that. On the color live we did. I think that was yesterday. If you want to check that out, if you weren't there. So it could be really nice to have another piece of coral. I think this is coral, looking like this on the sea scene where the parents are hiding. Okay. Yeah, so this is going to be Blub Blub's mom, the little guy sticking out of the coral. No, we don't. So we do know the owner of a bookstore, and we can self-publish a softcover book of a pretty decent size and a professional quality because I work in printing. I work at a print shop and like have access to a decent digital press and all the equipment needed to make a softcover book. And I used to work at the bookstore here in town, and we're still like connected to them, so they will probably sell it on commission. We've gotten not quite a hard yes, but I think if they saw it, they would do it. And so we would probably sell like that to start. We would also, this would give us the opportunity not only to have an example to show to publishers to try to get hired or to try to get them to publish it, like buy it and publish it, but also, oh, there is a poll. Cool. I guess I do that one. But also, I'll be able to use it as like a portfolio or an example of my work to try to get other jobs illustrating kids' books, or would be even better than publishing this book, would be getting a job illustrating other books. So, and then Odd Fudd will be able to use it as a sample of her writing and what she's able to do with kids' books. So yeah, I was thinking a lot about that. Like, even if it's not ever published and it doesn't like make us money in that sense, or not make us money, but help us in that sense. Yeah, it's probably 30 pages, I think, 20 to 30 pages. Oh, hi, son. I missed you. Everything's going by so fast. I just can't. Huh. I'm like complaining about the chat again. So usually I can just make it the whole page and I don't have to look at the video. But today I can't do that. I'm trying right now. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to try one more time. So this is the mom and dad. Yeah, I have to like get through and really see the pages to see if it to see exactly how long it is. It's not in order, so it's going to be a little bit of work to get it just right. Okay, it says I'm live. Dang it. Yeah, I don't know. Frustrating. Because I've been doing this for days and it's been working totally fine. And then today it's just like, not today, buddy. Let me see if I can go through YouTube Studio. I know, like, you guys don't care about how I go through this, but it's hard to chat with everybody when get, when I can't see everybody. No. Nope. Okay. Sorry, I was hopeful. Yeah, probably a lot of drawings. I think I'm faster than I used to be. So it shouldn't be too bad. All right, I'm just putting that back. Oh, shoot. Drop my dang phone. All right. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I'm really happy to do it. It's something we always wanted to do, like for a very long time. When I first started. Oh, it kind of does. I like that guy with the fish eyes. I liked all four of those. They were very good. It made me think I should do more. I used to do faces videos, and it made me want to get back into doing faces videos. Okay, and we have. Gosh. We have the mom, we have the dad. So now we have the aunties and uncles. And they were going to be hiding in seaweed. All right, so I think I'll do those. We can either do those a little bit further away on some blank space I have here, or we can just do them on a new page. I think let's do them on a new page, and we'll just, if we want them further away, we'll make them further away. So I was doing it kind of before where they were like hiding out near the bottom. And maybe there would be like some rocks or something in front of them. And then they'd be like kind of playful and their tentacles would be going up like it's also seaweed. Actually, that looks pretty fun. So we'll do the tentacles first. This is like when somebody holds a branch in front of them and they're like, "Can't see me, can't see me. I'm a tree." But sorry, eating, no problem this year. Yeah, the whole story happens in the ocean. It's uh it's all about like Blub Blub's adventure. It's He doesn't even really on an adventure. It's about him learning about camouflage and like masking and like hiding and other people's expectations about him. It's a little bit no, I mean that's what it's about. Yeah. And I don't remember, like I think it's left ambiguous. I'll have to look. Uh how much he how much he takes on, but the lesson is, oh yeah, I'd love everyone to join in the Discord to see to see everyone's drawings. I don't know what we'll do with the other tentacles. We'll put them somewhere. But I think the lesson is like it's just about when people have all these expectations about you and like you don't necessarily as a kid you don't even like want to or know or like feel the same way about things as the adults in your life, but they just expect you to do things like the way they do them and like is quote unquote normal. And so it's sort of wrestling with that. Yeah, it's in the channel description. Because Oddfoot and I were both kids who were very different and not in a bad way. Why would you think that? No. And you know, when you're a different kid, when you're a quiet kid, sometimes it's good because people like kind of leave you alone. But often they like make weird assumptions about you, and then they also try to force you to do things. Something that this reminds me of, although it's not really the same thing, is like I would never hug a kid that didn't want to be hugged. I really don't like touching people, just as a general rule. Uh, and when I was young, people were always trying to get me to hug people. Adults are always trying to get me to hug people, and it's not something I want to do. And so I respect when children don't want to hug people. And it's kind of like that. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what it's about. Kind of wrestling with adult expectations and your place in the real world or in the world in general. The whole world's the real world, whether you're a kid or not. But you know what I mean. And you know, this is something we wrote 6 years ago, and I have so much trust in 6 years ago us that I haven't actually gone through and tried to read it. I'm just going through on the live stream. Uh, but you know, if it's like weird or bad, we can always change it. It's not a. But if my memory is right, and I'm pretty sure it is, this is the story. Yeah, I didn't think of it until we've been talking about it now. Oh, okay, Nasir. I'll try to update the link to make sure it's right. Okay, yeah, this is going to be a really busy piece. I'm not going to make the decisions about what's exactly in front of what until I get on the computer. Hey, the goblin. Oh, can you not click on the link? So yeah, YouTube, you have to have a certain amount of, it's not even subscribers or like time on the platform. It's like a different metric, trust, that they have. And like, so you have to have a certain level of YouTube trust in order to be able to post links. And I guess YouTube doesn't trust us enough. That's fine. They trust me enough to live stream, which is really great. You have to have 50 subscribers to live stream. But they don't really tell you that until you try to live stream. And then they're like, whoa, what are you doing there, little potato? I'm going to have 50 subscribers. So one time we tried to set up a live stream where I would draw and Oddfud would, I think she was crafting something and I was drawing things for her while she was crafting it. That was the plan, anyway. And instead, we got everything set up. It was going to be our first ever live stream, so we were like really particular, and it took us a long time because we hadn't done it before. We had no practice. And then Oddfud has enough subscribers; she could stream no problem. And then I went to stream as CMonsterYK, and it was like, wah, wah. But oh, we'll have to get you some subscribers, Sapley, so you can live stream. I'll subscribe to you, Sapley. Yeah. Post your YouTube in the Discord. Okay, I will do just some ones in the background that are less rendered, and we might do ones when we do color that are also just less rendered. And I think that's a great use of color is in the coloring step is to add some texture. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it can be hard, it can be embarrassing. I was so embarrassed about my drawings for a really long time. And I might have told the story before, but I don't know. So I used to draw and then ink everything with a pen. I used sometimes these Micron pens. Uh, and I liked it. I thought it was very good. I thought like that's what you did as an illustrator. A lot of the illustrations that I had like really liked and respected were line drawings, like solid line ink drawings. And so that's what I thought like illustrating was. And I was really embarrassed to share my sketches, my pencils, like what you're seeing here. And I would spend so much time and energy like making the pencils really good so that I could ink them. And then I was doing something quick for somebody and I thought the pencil was really good, better than usual. And I shared it with a couple people and they were like, oh my God, this is great. You changed your style and it's much better now. And I was like, oh no, this is like the sketch. And they're like, oh, this should just be the finished product. And I had been so embarrassed about it, and now it's something I share with everybody, and I've gotten proud of it, and people really like it. We're just adding the suction cups. Oh, I lost my... I'm going to tear a new piece of paper so we don't... Okay. Bye, Sapley. I was just looking at this. We hit 50 subs right around Christmas. So December. And then funnily, we didn't start live streaming for a little while. It took us some time to get on the live stream bandwagon. Oh yeah, I'm glad to be drawing with you, Sapley. That's like the real draw with me, is draw with you. Yeah, I totally agree. Artists of the world take over, not even unite. Oh yeah, this is good. I wasn't sure how this seaweed one was gonna look, but I think it's pretty good. I like it a lot. I uh, I have a vague memory of the other one being bad, um, but I don't know. This is nice. I'm not trying. Like, I cared so much. It had to be so perfect back then. This is something I talked about on the the live stream where we were doing the color. Is like I no longer try to make it look like a human didn't do it and make it absolutely perfect. Because I did that for a long time. Like any mistake, I would work so hard to get rid of, and it people don't notice the mistakes. And a lot of the times when people do notice the mistakes, they like it and they think it gives it character. And so, like, there's an expression I saw in woodworking, and which I do sometimes as a hobby, as a different kind of hobby. And somebody said the customer, the person you give the wood piece to, they only notice the mistakes that you point out to them. And it's so true. Like especially with something like this, if I made a mistake on one of the arms, on one place on one of the arms, like who would know, right? Like is that something that even anyone would ever notice? Like maybe, but I don't think they would care then if they did. Or if I made a mistake on something like that, like that's, it just seems like I cared so much and it mattered so little. Yeah, everything is a design choice, including the level of perfection you attempt to attain. So what I've been saying lately is you should try to go for 80% of what you think is your absolute best. Like if you spent all the time you ever could have, all the time you would want on something, um, and that is until you thought it was perfect, call that perfect, and then do 80%. If you get to 80% of that, you're done. You win. You're good. You made it. And partly that's because, like, that last, it's just, there's too much, um, there's not enough time in the day. There's not enough, like, you have to stop doing whatever art you're doing now so you can do the next piece. You can't work for infinity, right? And, like, I personally, I will think something's not done for infinity. I used to say that, like, no art piece is ever finished. It's just, you just decided you couldn't spend the time on it anymore. And so then I started saying just 80%, right? You get to 80%, that's pretty darn good. Most people who aren't super observant or super like know your style and stuff won't even notice if you have little mistakes. And a lot of people won't know their mistakes because like they just might think it's your style, and it is. But also, with a lot of work, that final 20% would take so much effort compared to the first 80%. It would take more effort than the first 80%. Like, that's true for a lot of things, and it's not a hard and fast rule, but it's something like it's a rule of thumb. And like, to make something as perfect as possible, you're going to dump so much time at the end. And the vast majority of people are never even going to know. They would have been totally happy with 60%. Never mind 80. I don't know. Maybe this is too uh, in the weeds. Oh, like this octopus. So I don't know if we'll do 8 tentacles on this one. I also don't know if this is an auntie or an uncle. Could be either. Oh, the video game designer, right. Um, I'm gonna misremember it. Yeah, a non-binary parent sibling. What would that be called? In Spanish, it would just be uncle, because that's non-binary. Sort of, sort of. I guess you could. It's not. I guess it's still gendered, but it can mean just like undefined, unknown. I guess gender. I want to give this one like real auntie uncle vibes. Actually, I think I did it. Maybe we'll have one tentacle like waving, like hey, because you know aunties and uncles are always so excited to see you, and you're like, what the heck? Yeah. So I read a story, and it's a story about the one of the creators of the original Fallout game, and he was talking about, and it was an interview, not a story, and he was telling a story about how he spent like hundreds of hours, months, um, making sure that the character's feet, when they were walking, didn't slide along the ground. Because often in video games, you'll have the character walking, and like instead of the foot being locked in place and moving the character, as the character's animation thing is going, it's also sliding forward. It's not just walking. And so he spent hours and hours to make sure that that didn't happen. And it was something that was important to him at the time. He thought it meant a lot of quality. And as he got more space and he grew up and like left, he like was remembering that, he was thinking to himself like how much other stuff that I wanted to put into the game that I didn't put in the game because I didn't have time would I have been able to put into the game if I hadn't spent so much time fixing this little thing, this cosmetic little thing. And he said part of it was so many other games shipped with that exact bug in it. It's sort of a bug with that exact bug. And nobody cared, right? Like, nobody wrote about it, and they were like, oh, this game's good except for the feet sliding. And it's not that he shouldn't have done it. That's not the point. The point was he should make sure he's doing it, he's making a choice, and he's not just doing it to do it. Because when you make the choice to fix this small cosmetic issue that's bothering you, it's not just the choice to do that, it's the choice to not do the other stuff that you could have done if you had the time. And so I try to remember that when I'm doing my art. When I say 80%, it's not just the choice to do 80% of my absolute best. It's also the choice to have the time to do 2 or 3 times as many pieces that I wouldn't have been able to do if I'd spent all my time trying to make one perfect. And so that's the story. That's where 80%, my 80% rule comes from. I don't think it was Todd Howard, but that would be funny. Oh, awesome, Sapley. I'm not at the computer today, so I can't just check it, but when I get downstairs, I will give it a check. All right, I think this is pretty good for the aunt uncle. So we can have, I just have brothers and sisters, but I've been like thinking about it. And what if instead of it being like brothers and sisters that are his same age, they're younger brothers and sisters? And in that way, they could be like little uns, and that could be fun. We could also make them little and just make them far away. That's a trick. Yeah. I think the brothers and sisters shouldn't be looking at Blub Blub, because whereas the aunties and uncles are all expectant of Blub Blub to learn to camouflage and to hide, his brothers and sisters are not, right? They're just doing their thing. They're not involved in their parents' machinations. Nope. Nope. I was trying to say like Machiavellian, but Octavellian. Okay, so I didn't actually have this hiding anywhere. I just drew it to be cute. So, okay. We'll probably use it somewhere, or, you know, it's fine to draw things just because they're cute. The name is maybe the octopus that couldn't, or the little octopus that couldn't. Oh, hello, Cassandra Sanders. Yeah, so I'm pretty bad at explaining things. Every time I try to tell somebody how to draw, like a specific thing, I then try to draw it myself, and it just comes out terribly. But I can tell you some tips and tricks. Things that I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's fine. There it is. 7 and like 8 back there. That's 9. One thing that I was told that really helped, that I didn't really appreciate at the time and I sort of thought was crazy, was to build everything with shapes. And now you don't have to be super specific about it, but for example, I draw this little elephant. I'm going to do it over here. I draw this little elephant every day, and I build her out of shapes. We have one circle for her head, one circle for her body. And that's always true. That's her head and her body. Now, if you want her to face forward, you put the nose here. If you want her to face to the side, you put the nose here. So we'll have her facing to the side. It's a nose, but it's a trunk, right? You draw her trunk, and that just comes right off the circle. Then you put her eyes, and like, that's just above the trunk. And we're still working on this building block here, this circle. And we put her mouth here at the bottom. Now I do scribble her hair, but that could be anything. And the ears are just kind of like big, lumpy D's. Backwards D's. C's. They're big C's. Oh, that's really cool, Anthony. Oh, my light just fell. All right. And then we have this bottom circle here. And what I do is I just connect about where the neck would be, just down to that bottom circle. And then her arms are just tubes. So I just draw like a little spiral that shows me where the tube would be. Draw the tube. That's one arm. Draw the other tube. And it can be bent like so. Draw the other arm. And then her legs, also tubes. So one leg coming out there. The other leg coming out here. And then the tail's just a little tail with a paintbrush on the end, like a teardrop. And there. With a little bit of detail, like having the ears go in, shading the back ear so we know it's behind her. Sometimes you can like change the shape of the head or the circle a little bit. And there you go. You can draw just like, you build it up from shapes. So that's one thing that helped me learn how to draw, even though for a long time I thought it was dumb. It's probably one of the first lessons I was ever taught about drawing. I had a book that my mom had taken out from the library and never returned, called How to Draw Animals. And it basically just showed you like, here's how you draw a turtle. Make an N. Like, then make a D. And it just sort of showed you, like shape by shape, how to draw a turtle. And then it'd be like that. And I'd be like, you did a turtle. And it wasn't for me, but the lesson stuck with me. All right. So we have this little octopus. And we'll have some like bubbles coming out. So we know it's like, it's just been moving fast. Even though I think in real life, you don't really produce bubbles when you're underwater moving. That's like something you do when you're above water or really close to the surface. Pew. Yeah, congratulations, you did a turtle, exactly. Oh, thanks so much, Sapley. Oh, I don't know. It Takes Two. Oh my gosh. Yeah. The foundation of anatomy is something that I still have to like spend some time with. It's just an area that I could really use some improvement on. I do a lot of, I don't lately, but I did a lot of life drawing. So like I can kind of not fake it, but I can kind of get the point across without knowing the anatomy. And I know like some of the major muscle groups, so um, I'm not totally at a loss. Oh yeah, she is you said like the toy elephant. So she is based on a toy elephant. Yeah, I will probably go live tomorrow, Nasir. So good night, take care, enjoy dinner or relaxing or whatever you're doing. TV with the family, I don't know. Enjoy your evening. I don't know why I had to put a specific thing on it. That was weird. So, okay, let me see what they actually said the kids were doing. I said, even his brothers and sisters were hiding in the rocks. So that's actually much more simple. And we can just Yeah, let's just start. So I learned the pen spinning because my history teacher could do like this and then catch it and then go backwards. And I was like, that is cool. But I could not learn how to do that. So instead I learned how to do this. And then I just do it all the time, so I got good at it. Oh, so I think we can do something interesting with the rocks. They don't have to be just like rocks on the ground. It could also sort of be coral reefy, right? And we can just call it rocks. Or we can say in the reef. We can change the word. And so because of that, we can make it like more interesting, more visually interesting, which is always good. And then we can also put like little caves in. And that can make it even more interesting because we can have them sticking their heads out of caves. Yeah, this will be interesting to clean up, to figure out like how caves look best in rock. I'll probably actually look up some of these. Yeah, no sibling rivalry. Yeah, that's interesting. So I think the siblings are mostly going to be neutral, supportive, maybe at worst aloof. Like they're not helping. They're not trying to tell him how to do it. They're not pressuring him to do it, but they're also not really helping, which is, you know, it's the siblings. They live their own lives too. It's important. It's hard. I don't know why this rock looks so dumb to me. Here, we'll just kind of. Oh, okay. I think we'll have some like. But yeah, it can be really hard, right? Because you inevitably are comparing yourself to your sibling. Often the other adults in your life are comparing you to your siblings. And parents, exactly. Parents will compare you to your siblings. Even sometimes when you're the good sibling, and someone just pointed this out the other day. I was thinking about it, but it shows how complicated a sibling rivalry or sibling relationship can be. Is if you're the good sibling, quote unquote. Ooh, that's a good idea. Scary faced or happy faced, but yeah, yeah. I think this one particularly, I'll have to go back and do a second draft. I don't think this is going to look good, but I want to um, at least get the idea down, get a first draft out of me, so I know I can figure out what I want to do next. I think we can still do a little one in like maybe in the background shooting across. I think when I did the last one, the tentacles were too, the shape was kind of right, but they were split too early. I think here, if you can see, I think it should more be like this. I keep saying more be, and it just makes me think of Morbin time. Yeah. Yeah, that is totally true. It's I'm good at that with writing. I don't even write full sentences. I just get the point across very quickly. But I could probably be better at it in drawing. I definitely get bogged down in details sometimes when I'm trying to just move forward. Yeah, that'll be like in the background. I guess there probably will be. Oh, you know what's on these rocks often are those little like um, those pretty like underwater flowers, and when you get close to them, they like close up. Oh yeah, and then that'll be really nice to color because you can make them really brightly colored. No, I'm gonna go back and forth. Some of my streams will be on paper, some will be on the computer to color, and then I probably will still do some of the draw cartoons badly because I have no visual memory or imagination streams because I like those. They're still good. I just actually maybe I'll do one of those tomorrow just to get a break from Blub Blub. It's always good to get a little space from a creative project, and that could be nice. And I do paint. So I do digital painting, which I know is not exactly the same, but I do it in a way that is very similar to how it works in real life. Also, I do real life painting. But when I paint in real life, it's usually with stencils and spray paint or like that. But I also will just bust out the acrylic and the brushes. It's just rarer and more specific. No, I'm right-handed. I play sports left-handed, if that counts. I was really bad at sports as a kid, and then I started playing left-handed kind of like because I didn't care. I was like I didn't like sports so much because I was like I just wasn't good at it in like gym class and stuff. Oh, yeah, yeah. I've painted with oil paint a little bit, and I love it. I can see why you have such a draw to it. There is something about oil paint, right? When it like slides across the canvas, when it grips the tooth of the canvas. You experiment with different gessos and mediums. There's definitely something to that. You'll have this one brother or sister looking at him with a doofy face. You know that one sibling who's looking at you with a doofy face. And they'll be behind all the rocks and just stick their little head out. Oh, they'll be waving too, like the overeager auntie or uncle. Oh yeah, the middle child. Yeah, I didn't color for so long. I uh, I wasn't very good at it on the computer yet, and I hadn't like built my habits and my brushes, gotten the tablet and done all that work. I was still like somewhere in between. And so coloring that way was hard. And I I like crayons and watercolor and stuff, but there's just something I had like a block. So I'll use those now to do something. But then I was like really, I don't know. I didn't want to color. I thought line art was the way to go. And like I still love line art, but um, I like coloring. Yeah, yeah. More uh, more places to worship is always good. Like it's not it's not it can really suck if you want to go to a temple or mosque or church or um, I don't know, and it's just so far away because like it can already be so hard to get yourself to do something, and then to have like this added like really long drive or just yeah, it sucks. That's what I was thinking about. Yeah, I think you can also be Christian and not go to church. I don't think that's necessarily required. I know a lot of modern Christians do think this, um, but I know the Bible says where is it three or I think it's three, where three or more of you are gathered in my name, I am there. And to me, that pretty clearly says you don't need to attend a church to worship and to be Christian. You can just gather with your friends in the name of Jesus, I guess, right? And that's church. Like these organized religions have a vested interest in keeping you. Hmm, yeah, in getting you to continue to buy into like the organized part of the religion. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it also doesn't have to be your thing. Yeah, I've done some fasting. I do like reading some Bible stuff. I was raised very, very Christian. I went to church, gosh, 3 to 4 times a week, depending on the week, I guess. But I don't go to church anymore. I, it's not that I wouldn't. I just, I don't. I don't think and we're in the U.S., which is getting more and more Christian lately. Yeah, so can everyone eat ice cream? What's everyone's favorite ice cream flavor? There is a right answer. All right, I think I'm not doing anything on this. I'm just sort of um, adding texture and stuff, and I don't even think I really like these rocks, so I'll probably redo them. Uh, So let's look at the next page and see if there's something to do there. Otherwise, we can always draw blub blub again, or I can just draw, I can draw a request, or I can draw an animal in a hat, something like that. Yeah, coffee. That's the right answer. I totally agree. I think I'll have some coffee ice cream tonight. I have some coffee Oatly ice cream. Okay, let's look at the next page, or the next page in line anyway. Yeah, so the first ones, it says like 1, 2, 3, so that's really good. That's 1. Okay. All right, this is 4. Okay, yeah. So here it says Blub Blub was always pink. So Blub Blub can be pink. So I think this page is going to, like, maybe we'll draw Blub Blub and we'll have him doing like a shrug. And then we can put him in front of everybody hiding and that seascape of everyone hiding. Where's the last hider? I did. Where's Mom and Dad? We've lost Mom and Dad. They're genuinely gone. What the heck? Ah. We can have everybody hiding. Like Dad in the front, Mom in the coral, the kids in the back, and the aunties in the side in the grass, and the kids in the back in the rocks. So, like, I don't have a light. Let me see if this works. Nope. Wait. Nope. Okay. This is a light table, so sometimes I can shine the light up through and you guys can see what I'm talking about. But basically that'll be the layout, right? Like this guy here, Dad in the front, Mom over there, and the kiddos in the background. Like that. Okay. Anyway, and then you can have Blub Blub. The next page, it's still the same picture. Maybe everybody has a different expression on their face, but everyone's in the same spot. Except you have Blub Blub in front of them giving a big shrug, and he's like bright pink. And so like here you have him being shy. This is the first page. And so now the next one, instead of him being shy, he'll be like, I don't know. Okay, yeah, let's try it. I'm just gonna grab the just basically the size of his head from this drawing. And where his eyes are. Okay. I just want to make sure Blub Blub stays more or less consistent. Yeah. I should draw him a little smaller, actually. No, this is fine. I'm going to draw it a little. I'll do it here. Okay. And then his eyes. Okay. There, we have the basis for Blub Blub. And we'll have him being like, I don't know. How do you make worried eyes? Oh, that's pretty good. And I think mostly we'll just have him kind of doing a shrug. So I was thinking too, the last 2 pages can be all 1 page because it'll be a 2 page spread, right? And you'll have well, it'd also be, usually kids' books are like more shaped like this. So you'll have the whole seascape on both pages. And then you'll have the aunties and uncles and the mom and dad already hiding in the seascape. And then the next page you turn it and it's Blub Blub in front of the seascape up close doing this little shrug and being like, I don't know why I'm always pink. We'll see how that looks. Alright. I think we'll do 4 arms up and then we can do 4 arms sort of wrapped in on themselves. Maybe spiraled. That's going to be hard to draw, but I think if I can get it right, it'll look really good. And it'll convey something about him because he's like he's holding himself in. He's holding himself back. We the reader, or the narrator rather, has been like, and Blub Blub can't go pink. And like, that's like a stand-in for his parents. We could have his parents say it specifically, but I think having the narrator say it is just fine. I think we'll still get the feeling if you have Blub Blub reacting to it. Yeah, I'd say this is the storyboard stage. Uh, yeah, you're the first Discorder. So, like, thank you, thank you. It's gonna feel so much, you being there will help make it better and better. And Nasir will probably join eventually. Okay, I'm liking this. I wasn't sure. But I think this is good. I think I'm gonna start laying down some lines. I'm scared of this spiral in the front, but we'll do the middle one first. Come down to the center. I'll have it just be on top of the other one. Alright. It's fine. I think I'll have to do more detail in order to feel good about these spirals. I really like the idea, so I really will try to get it to work. Yeah, this is sort of hybrid, right? Oh, I don't know Zero from home. No, but he just doesn't turn colors. He stays pink. Bro is like, I like pink, actually. Oh, yeah, sometimes I draw with a permanent marker or just an ink pen and do no undo that way. So I could do that. It's a challenge I've done in the past. It's just fun to do. Especially if you do pencil. because you can sort of... So I don't know if it's harder for me uh, because you don't walk in other people's shoes. But with the aphantasia, it, like, when I am looking at a piece of paper, I can't envision the rest of the drawing. So, like that elephant I was drawing before, I draw her every day, and her I'd probably be able to sort of uh, do no eraser challenge to. I'm doing one now, I guess. It's, but you have to remember like what comes on top. That's not too bad, but it's just like knowing where everything will actually go that I have a problem with. Whoops, she doesn't have hair like that. No erase challenge. Hey, Steven. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I wonder, I don't remember if we have anything, but that could be really fun to just have something like that to have in like the background where like the brothers or the sisters, if they're like little kids, are just like playing in some crazy way. Yeah, like all sorts of camouflaging is really fun. Oh, dang. Yep, alright. Actually, I think this came out pretty good. I think I would bring this one in closer. Maybe same with this one. Have it be in front like that. Bring that out, bring that out, bring that out. Maybe, oh, nope, that's in front now. So there's just like this space here. I guess these back legs would maybe fill it. And maybe these spirals would come in and fill it. So we'll figure out that blank space or that negative space. Okay, and now I'm going to decide. Oh, Stephen, art streams are pretty cool as I'm relaxing. A good friend of mine's partner just did a drawing of a pyramid head from Silent Hill for me. Oh, that's great. Yeah, pyramid heads. I like the whole concept of having a head that's not a head. Like, I read a comic, I think it's Saga, where they have old CRT. There's a whole race of people that have CRT TVs for heads. I draw a character sometimes that has a cell phone, a smartphone for a head. I should do a flip phone one. I didn't think of that. I'll draw that in a second. Um, yeah, I like the whole concept. I like when people have a camera lens for a head. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop with this blub blub. I think this was very good, but it's just gonna be a lot of futzing around, and maybe I should redraw it when I have access to the light table. Sort of. I'll figure out how to do a stream for that. For the light table. I don't know if this camera would understand what's going on, but that could be fun. I'll do a test and then I'll see. But yeah, let's draw. I like this. You could have like a little decoration. Yep, okay. Gosh, time for a new piece of paper already. You guys are... Okay, if anyone has any requests, I think now's the time. Oh, thank you so much, Stephen. Yeah, I'm so happy to be doing it. It's called Blub Blub. He's the main character. We've done some coloring too on the computer of some of these that I think we're probably going to use that are ready and done. Some of these are first drafts, but oh no. Oh yeah, nice. I draw cartoons sometimes from my mind's eye, which I don't have, so I do a really bad job. But it's fun to try to draw them from memory. And I drew Zelda the other day. No, I drew Link the other day. It was not that good, but it would be fun to do one from a reference where I might actually do a good job. My friend does tiny canvases like this big, and she makes them very, very carefully into curly from mouthwashing. I don't know them. I'll look them up and we'll do them next time. And she does little, like very, very carefully, very, very strictly done um, pixel art on the canvases in real life. People love them. Okay. This guy's going to be a flip phone. We'll have his head, he'll be facing this way. Well, it's hard to show you, not on a circle. He'll be facing that way. So we'll see the hinge. This will be where the numbers are. This is the speaker part, and then it won't open all the way, right? They're like wah, sort of. Yeah, yeah, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Oh, and should it have a little antenna? Yeah, we'll have like. Okay, okay. Okay, I'm not hating it already, so that's good news. It's crooked. Yeah, yeah, Final Fantasy. She's definitely done some Final Fantasy. She did one that was a dragon. Gosh, I don't think it was Final Fantasy. Can't remember a dragon in the early Final Fantasies. But she did one that was this big dragon, and like it was one of her bigger pieces. It was not that big for like regular art, but she separated it over multiple canvases and stuck them together. It was really nice. Okay. I had to redo this. It was... There was something wrong with it. There we go. That's the speaker fart. Speaker fart, jeez. I've been streaming too long. That's the speaker fart. That's the screen, the tiny little screen. This will be the number pad. We'll have like send and end and something between. And then, you know, the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oops. There we go. Not bad. pound on the left, star on the right. Doesn't matter. This is just meant to... Okay, yeah, this is a green dragon. It reminded me... Well, I don't know. I'm bad at recognizing stuff. But it reminded me of like the dragon at the end of Mega Man. One of the Mega Man levels. In, I think, 3 or 4. Oh, that's very specific. What I remember, it was green. Gosh, how am I going to turn this into a head? I've gotten so far along without thinking all that through. Okay, I'm just kind of like, we'll throw the head on it as a way to like see. Okay, yeah, if this was a real head. Okay, then this would be the chin. The skull would be back here. No skull, because, you know, empty space. They'll have the chin, and they'll just have the neck kind of like coming out the back of the phone. Yeah, I think that does it. Now, what kind of guy is this? This is where my anatomy would come in useful. Well, you have pecs, you have belly. You just draw like what a gorilla looks like. You have hips. Okay, but what is he doing? So if he's like... You're supposed to make your characters be doing a thing because it's just much more dynamic. If your guy's just standing there, no matter how cool he looks, it's gonna look dumb. Like the drawing is gonna look... Well, it's not gonna look dumb. It's gonna look static. It's gonna look boring. It's gonna look like nothing's happening. Like it's not alive. And so you should try to put action in your drawings, even if they're just to show somebody what somebody looks like. Now, that action doesn't have to be part of my real partner of the drama enjoys it, hopes to one day be a tattoo artist. Oh, that's so great. Tattoo artist is a really cool job. I want her to stay motivated. Yeah, so this is really hard. I kind of lucked out, and I started drawing a cartoon for my wife every day. And like I said I would do it, and then, you know, it's you do it, right? Like, and so I lucked out because that was an easy choice for me. I didn't have to choose anymore. I basically made it so I had to draw every day, and I loved it. I loved drawing every day. And that really changed my experience. And like, I drew a lot. I probably still drew almost every day before. But making it every day was... Yeah, so the action doesn't have to be active, right? He doesn't have to be doing something right now. He can be holding something, or like this guy, he's doing a shrug. It doesn't... They can be sitting and reading. Like, it doesn't have to be an active action. I know that, like, kind of feels like an oxymoron, but I'm trying to get this to look like a bunched up sweater. I thought I was having some success. No, I think that's totally fine. Sometimes I loved coloring when I wasn't drawing on a regular basis. You get to engage a lot of the same feeling, and Like you can enter the flow state, which is really good and really like calming and really good for your mental health. So I don't think a coloring book should be embarrassing. Um, but if you want to draw, you might want to try to put in the work. Like if that's why you feel like you would want to do a drawing instead, I could see that being a healthy desire. So one thing I was just talking about flow state, and I think that would be the biggest difference for me once I started drawing every day. I mean, there's a lot, like, even if you're getting practice, even at like little things or bad things, like that practice still stacks up. And gosh, these shoulders, I just did not do good with the folds today. Um, but the other thing is, like, if you're drawing every day, you have more and more of an opportunity to enter into the flow state, to lose yourself in the drawing. So, like, people talk a lot about like different ways to enter the flow state, and I don't think those are bad conversations. I think it's really important, right? Like, you shouldn't be hungry, you shouldn't be thinking about other things. I say shouldn't. It's all about trying to like lose yourself, lose time in the work. Um, but one of the most important things that I've found is just actually being there and being ready to do. Yeah, I think like that's a lot of how it is. If it makes you feel any better, I loved drawing as a kid. I stopped drawing well into adulthood. I drew like nothing basically. And then about 6 years ago, I started drawing again. And I I could do a mean stick figure before, but that was about it. And gosh, I kind of want to make this guy. Okay, those will be his hips. I'm trying to think how he's standing. Is he like legs apart for some reason? Knee. I think I think so. I do not know why he's standing like this, but he is for some strange reason. And he's barefoot. I would not have guessed that. Oh, that's great. I was like, oh no, is there something wrong with the stream? But I see what you're saying. No signal. Yeah, so I started drawing. I tried to draw every day after work or before work. I started doing like, I can't remember what it's called, uh, life drawing lessons on YouTube. I started studying my favorite cartoons. Just like you were saying, you used to draw video game characters, I think. Um, I started drawing cartoons and looking up and trying to mimic the style of artists I really liked. And now I sell my art at craft fairs and I've done commissions. So it's never too late to get back into it. Oh no, yeah. I think that is such a normal feeling and we don't really talk about it. because it feels so weird, right? But I think a lot of people have feelings like that, and it can be really complicated, but it doesn't have to be bad, um, or something to be embarrassed about. It can feel good to support your friends or your acquaintances who are doing a thing that you used to really love. Hey, Polaroid! Welcome back. We're we're finishing up, but if you have a request, I drew a guy with a weird head because we started talking about that. Oh yeah, we'll give him a. I don't know why I didn't think of this. We'll have this say a message. Oh, I like it. I like it. Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, I really love drawing things with weird heads. And then I drew this. I just like things with weird heads in general, I think. Yeah, I could. I don't know Silent Hill very well, but hmm. I could give a shot at something that is Silent Hill-ish. Now, I just want to remind you, I do a stream that's all about how bad I am at drawing things from my memory. So don't expect anything good. You should see his wife's head, what? Oh, lol, lol, lol. Because it's weird. It's actually a cinder block. It's actually a woman with a cinder block for her head. I say cinder block because that's the easiest for people to understand, but we're all friends here. It's a piece of the Berlin Wall. So now, that's kind of a little bit of a deep cut of a joke because in the 90s there's a woman who married the Berlin Wall. So I'm making a reference to that. Man, I think these hands turned out really nice. I'm going to show them off and bring them up to the camera. Huh? I like this one better. Huh? Pretty good. I am so bad at hands. I think it's fine. I'm getting better all the time because I just don't not draw them. Like I used to try to avoid drawing them, and now I just draw them and let them be bad, you know? Yeah, exactly. It's just for a quick sketch. Okay, so should I do a new page? Yeah. I'm trying to think like, so I know Silent Hill. Does like monstrous creatures, and they're often like representative of some sort of real-ish thing. I mean, Pyramid Head, stroke of genius. The guy who did Pyramid Head, really, really good work. I read an interview with him where he talked about it. He's very modest. And Chainsaw Head, did he do that? Oh, hey, Saps. Sappily. Oh man, that makes me want a Zeppeli. So, I'm trying to remember. Well, I'm just gonna kind of go draw a monster and see how Silent Hilly it is. I always think about there's that Mythbusters. I don't know if it actually aired or if I learned about it on I'm drawing something Silent Hillish. I learned about it on like YouTube because I follow what's his name's channel. But he was talking about how a lead balloon, like they did the lead balloon, and they all thought it wouldn't float, and then it just floated. And that, when I was watching that, that's when I realized Led Zeppelin was a reference to an idea of something that wouldn't work or was not supposed to work. Yeah, I guess it's an original character inspired by. I'm trying to do like a Silent Hill inspired original character. Oh yeah, I do love a Resident Evil monster. Now Resident Evil, that's a game I play. Los Plagas. Yeah, yeah, that's totally right. That I think I was reading that interview that you're talking about. Okay, shoulder, shoulder, upper arm, and then I don't know what her forearms are gonna be or what her hands are gonna be. I don't think I want them to just be forearms and hands. So we'll look at that in a second. So now we have the body moving back to the hips. I think this is a little hard. You have, oh, here, we'll do this trick that I never remember to do. We'll just do a big flat rectangle for the body. Oh, is that? Oh, there we go. Okay, and then this is where the hips would be, so my initial sketch is a little off, but that's okay. Now, the body is not just a flat triangle, right? Um, so we can add some more of the features. Some body fat. Connect to the hips. I don't know what her clothes are going to be. So let's just do, yeah, like a scoop neck, I guess. It's weird to be thinking about this like um, this horrible monster, and then be like, V or scoop? What do you guys think? So I do want her legs to come straight off, like what like I want it to feel wrong, very wrong and bad. So you have like her butt, right? And then instead of going down, it's just twisted and her leg comes right off the side. I think that comes across and I hate it. So that's good. That's the other butt, and then that leg will come right off that side, and we're just not going to see it. It's going to be almost entirely, it's not even almost, it's going to be entirely behind the body. I guess we could have it moving back a little. We still wouldn't see it. So yeah, that's fine. What it does mean is we can kind of put this leg in a little bit wherever. This should be a regular foot. I think the feet and the bottom legs just sort of regular, but like all messed up, all cut up. But we'll have to use our imagination. I don't want to get too... OG Resident Evil Nemesis looks hella cool. I just played the, like last year, I just played the remake. I did play it with the original graphics. I mean, I love that game. I didn't play it until recently. Well, I didn't remember playing it. I had played it years ago, but I didn't remember playing it. And so replaying it again now was such a great game. I just got Alan Wake 2. I have not played that yet. Okay. I think we'll have her be wearing like a regular white work shirt, like semi-fancy. I definitely don't want her hands to be hands, but I don't know what her hands should be. I originally thought maybe like scalpels. That doesn't really work. And then I was thinking maybe like I'm just gonna have it be like I don't know, like unidentified sort of scrappy metal. Oh, hey Fabs. We're just finishing up. We're drawing a little bit of a horror creature, and then I'm off for the night. But I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, that's okay. It was a late stream. We did, I'll catch you up in a second. We did some, gosh, what should this one be? I kind of want it to be not the same thing. Oh, it'll be scissors. It'll be scissors. And like the shirt is ripped because the scissors got scissoring. And then like you have to imagine, unless I have colored pencils, then maybe I'll do it a little. I don't know where they are. You have to imagine like there's like blood around the mask. Yeah. Stephen, one thing that somebody taught me that really helped me on my journey, um, and your mileage may vary, but they said like it's all about just actually drawing, right? And so you should just go out, get the cheapest paper that you feel comfortable drawing on, and use you just buy as much of it as you can, and just use it all up. Because when you're first starting, drawing shouldn't feel like this precious thing. It should just feel like a thing that you do real quick and get it done, like to get better and practice and practice. Yeah, I checked out Flip a Clip, but I can't use it on my computer, so I'll have to try a different program, Fabs. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it a night. I think she came out pretty scary. I guess I didn't think about her clothes on the bottom half. Do like ripped up scrubs or something. Yeah, I totally agree with Sappy. Nobody is born an artist. People talk about like, oh, you have talent. No, I have lots and lots of practice. Um, well, yeah, horseshoe crabs have blue blood, but we're talking metaphorically. Horseshoe crab's blue blood is used to test for something. That's really nice. Oh, thanks so much. That's true, Sappy. You did. Yeah, so that's great, Stephen. Hopefully we'll see you next time. Thanks. Great to have you. Oh man, I want to draw crabs. I tried drawing a crab like a few months ago for something, and I wanted to do a crab in a top hat, and it didn't spark joy. It says, oh, this will be your like name tag. Nurse, get the hell out of my face. I'm gonna eat you. Something like that. Instead of eyes, she'll have like the empty pits. Yeah, goblins stopped by. Oh, Sapley, that's nice to hear. Oh yeah, I've been just putting them right up. I always used to be like, oh, I'll edit it and I'll take out the dumb things I said, and but now I just put them up. I don't. The, when I edit them, I'll make them into shorts. but I'll leave the lives up on the channel. I don't think it's worth taking them down. And yeah, some people enjoy them. All right. Thank you so much, guys. I am going to get out of here for the night. I'll be on tomorrow. We'll do more blub blub. Bye. Oh yeah, I'll have to see the blub blub.